Hello again, BlackEyedGhost here with another Minecraft video, and today the of and is my redstone world. Um, Starting off, just really quick, this is an OR gate. If either one is on, that will be output. This is an AND gate. If both of them are on, it will output, but only if both of them are on. This is an XOR gate. When you turn one on, it switches the output. This is a NAND gate. Only if they're both on will it be off. This is a NOR gate. If either of them is on, then it will be off. This is an XNOR gate. Same thing as a XOR gate. When you turn it on or off, it switches the output, but when both of them are off, it is on. And this is a 4-bit display. As you see, it's displaying a C. That's because 4 bits gives you a number between 0 and 15. So using one number, or character rather, you have to use hexadecimal, which is anything between 0 and F. So just showing you how it works here. It randomizes that number right here and outputs. So now it's E. Turn it off, it resets to 0. Turn it on, 3. And this controls the whether or not it's displaying. I can turn this display back on, and it'll still be 3. And this is just in a position where it can do both of those at the same time. This is a full adder. It'll add 2 binary numbers. This top row is one number, that bottom row is another number. It's just a bunch of XOR gates basically. And this is 7 in binary, that's 7 in binary, and this output here is 14 in binary. If you don't believe me, look it up. So, and whenever I'm talking about binary, just to make sure, anytime there is an output, that is a 1. Anytime there is not an output, that is a 0. That's what I mean with binary. All right. So this is a 4-bit incrementer. Very simple, just XOR gates again. And doodly-doo. And if you have this off, then it'll just output exactly what you put in, because the 1 that it's adding to it, it takes any number and adds 1. That's what incrementer means. Yeah, it'll just output whatever I put here if that is off, because the 1 gets stored in that bit. Anyways, moving on. What is this thing? It looks fun. I don't know what it is, but it's fun. All right. Let's move over here. This is going to my my animated TV screen that I made before. It's the same exact thing, except there's this little component added here. What this component does is it inverts the output. As you can see, you've got the L that is turned on, and when we invert it, the L is turned off, and that is on. And then we switch it back. Yeah, so that inverts the output of the display. Very simple, takes the redstone, passes it through on one side, inverts it on the other side and passes it through, and the glass determines which one of those two goes through. I say very simple, but it's really somewhat complex. And as you can see, it does play, and it has that problem of lights coming on before they go off, I believe. Yep, it does have that problem. I didn't fix it on this one. Piston array memory, yada yada. We've done it before. All right. Over here is concept of that. These are power lines. It's a way to use string instead of redstone to pass a signal. So basically, when this gets activated, it pushes up that that piston there, and the minecart goes into the next string. String, I believe, can be 42 long, as opposed to redstone, which can only be 15. So a lot of increase on the distance you can go with string as opposed to redstone. And you can see over there, string, I don't know. redstone and string are kind of two things that are somewhat difficult to get. I don't know which one's easier, but whichever one you have more of, you can certainly use. Moving over here, this is a pulse lengthener. If you want to pulse, but it's not long enough for you, you can do this. This is one way to do it. It's the worst way in my opinion. This is another way to do it. This is not, it's a lot longer, much longer, and it's fairly compact, but this design is also outdated. This is one that I designed myself. It uses hoppers, droppers, not hoppers. And you can see I pushed the button, it went up, it's staying up, and it's pushing items between the two. I can change this loop here, make it go even slower. I can add more items, make it go even slower, but then it would stay up for days, which is unnecessary. This is the best design in my opinion, because it's very compact and it lasts forever. You can see I have 10 rotten flesh, and just with 10 rotten flesh in here, this is the best use for rotten flesh, by the way. Rotten flesh is useless otherwise. Alright, so starts out with nothing in here. When there's nothing in here, the comparator does an output, and when it starts pushing things in there, and once it's full, it starts pushing them back, and then once it's empty, it stops outputting. And alright, moving on. This is a full multiplier, a 3-bit multiplier, and it was a pain to build, but it is super cool. As you can see right now, oops. So I have all of these on at the bottom, all of these off at the top, and 1 times 111 is 111. 10 times 111 is 1110. 100 times 111, or rather 100 because it's binary, 100 times 111 is 11100. And 111 times 111 is 110001. Yeah, that's a nice little demonstration. Complicated to build. I'm not going to explain it because this video is going to be long enough as is. Let's see here. What is this? This is the incrementer concept. Yeah, I don't care to show it. This is nothing. What is this? This seems important. Ah, yes, this is a memory array I built. It's not the greatest ever, but it's not bad if I say so myself. So this is a 2-bit input that chooses which of these 4 is selected currently. Currently the bottom is selected. Then it moves up 1. Then it goes up to the top, goes down, and yeah, there you go. And once you select that, let's see here, this one will finalize your selected input. This one will reset the memory of the selected input. Right now you can see it's not outputting, so that won't do anything yet. This will change the bit from either being on or off. So right now it'll output whatever's selected, and it'll also modify what's ever selected. And this will reset what's selected. Behold. And let's see here. Let's just set this one to that. And now let's change the input to 4, or 3 rather. Change selection, and you can see it's back to 0. Set that. Go to 1. Select the input. You can see that's also at 0. Let's just do 1. And now let's swap back to 3. Select it. And you'll see it's the same thing that I input for it. Swap back to, I think this one was it. Select it. And that's what I input for that. And if I swap back to, I think that's right. Ah, nope, that's not right. 0 is what I wanted. I wanted 0. Select that. and you'll see it outputs what was stored. So it's just 4, what do they call it? It's not a byte, it's half of a byte. 4 half bytes that can be stored in memory. Let's see here. That was just a thing I worked on. Doesn't really do anything. Have I shown off everything? No, I have not. I have a D-latch over here. A D-latch is a fantastic thing. You'll see my piston output over there. So right now they're all off. I can use these 3 bits to mess around with it. And when I turn this on, it will latch my input, or my output. So the output stays the same no matter what I do to these. Sorry about that. Sort of ran out of memory on my computer. So back to the D-latch. Does exactly as I said before. I have another couple designs for it here. This one is a simple piston design. It's just a 1-bit D-latch. But this one over here is one that I was working on for it to be tileable horizontally. This is the normal input, this is the latch. And this one is completely tileable horizontally, but as you can see there is a bit of delay, which is irritating. But it's still a work in progress. Moving on, there is something else I wanted to show you. There it is. So this, that, and that. This is wireless redstone. It's very cool. It uses tripwire hooks in order to do a wireless signal. And the signal can move from this tripwire hook to that tripwire hook in a straight line about, I think it's 42, again, tripwire rules. But as you can see, when I push that, it goes to that, turns on that light, and then it goes again all the way to that piston, making it go down. Alright, the way this works, there's a piece of string right in front of this tripwire hook, and the minecart going into it will update this, and updating that also updates this, which, yes, updating this gets captured by this. It's a block update detector. I don't remember what they're called. And that does an output through here, which does the same thing, repeats the process all the way over to here, where I have another one. Voila. Alright, so wireless redstone, that's fun. What else is there? Also, these wireless redstone, it used to be that when tripwire hooks received a random tick, that it will trigger it. That has changed, which is super handy because it simplified the design from what it used to be. So this design right here works perfectly for whatever purposes as of, I don't know which update. This is 1.8.3 though. What else is there? This, and this, and this, and I think that's it. Those are basically just concepts. I'll show you the subtractor though, because I didn't actually build a full one. Alright, so the way a full subtractor works is you have your number, it's either 1 or 0, and it subtracts the other number, and there's also a carry that it subtracts, so it's this minus that, which is this first sign, A minus B minus C. So you'll see I have that, which is our number output, and that, which is our negative sign output. So this is a signed integer. It's a 2-bit signed integer that it outputs, but it's really just a 1-bit subtractor. So we have 1 minus 1 equals 0, minus another 1 equals negative 1, and if you do 0 minus 1 minus 1, that should give you negative 2, which, as you see here, is negative 0. Negative 0, the way that negative numbers are stored in signed integers is -0 is going to be the smallest possible number you can get. So with a 1-bit, that's -2. In a computer, which is usually 32-bit, that's going to be -2 billion something or other. So -0 is the smallest possible number, which is why it outputs -0 when I do 0 minus 1 minus 1. That's just a special way of storing the numbers. Moving on. I don't think I showed you this yet. This is kind of just a, you could call it a touch screen. It takes where you're standing, and through the magic of these tripwires, it will convert that into a 2-bit number for X and a 2-bit number for Y. All of them being off means you're not standing on anything. So there is 4 different outputs, even though there's only a 3x3 grid, basically. So that's basically everything. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, rate, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. And I will leave a download link in the description for you guys so you can check out my random doodads. Peace out.